Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy and these are my misadventures with mixed media. I showed these in a short. I ironed these ones. I've already folded them. So I'll just flip through them really quick. The light, they seem, I don't know. I can't tell if they seem more accurate in color. The short I did, they just seemed really washed out. Alright, and this stack here, so this is like 12 I think in this pile. There's 24 in this pile. If you include this ripped up page, I dyed 6.5 dozen pieces of paper today. Some of them were cardstock. There's still 13 on the porch drying. So this pile I've had under a stack of books, and these are the ones that just came in. So, and then these were the ironed ones. So you can see kind of the difference between whether you iron them or just leave them in a stack. Like for the journal I'm doing, I'm probably not going to use the ironed ones, but more of like these. And I do have some rips here and there. And I may just put a cluster over that in a page, or I just may use this for backing. Like this, I don't think that was one of the ones I stepped on, but somehow it got a little bit deeper there than I would have liked. But whatever I can't use for a page, I can still use for backing. And for a forest journal, I absolutely love this background because it almost looks like little leaves. Even if it didn't get over the whole page. And then the other side, it's just more plain. But I have some things I'm going to do to the plainer ones, which will make them, you know, still grungy and fun and in the color scheme. And oh yeah, see, this one came out better. And I'm okay that it doesn't come out perfectly clean because this is actually a grungy style type journal. I like it this way even better though. I might have to do some pages that way. Oh look, another torn one. And I think most of these are 24 pound, and except for the cardstock, and I still like they tore and stuff. And it was I used some gray paper. Like I would not have gotten this color green on white paper. I did this on gray paper. Which I don't remember why I bought the gray. Does anybody remember why I bought the gray? I don't know if I was thinking of using it in a kit that I saw that I wanted, but now it's all gone. This was why I have so many pages, probably, is because it's just, and so many of them ripped. I'm so sad about that. Like, they just ripped and ripped. And this one, oh my goodness, it does look blurry. I must have moved it, and it's like, it looks like 3D. It's like, it freaks my eyes out. And then this one had some brown and some green on it, which you can see a little bit better on this side. Used my, I have a little old ironing board that I got at a thrift store that didn't have the cover that I do those on. And then this, I don't know how to, I think I had some stacked, and this was on the top of the stack. And so it got all these little fun things on there, which is really cool. Don't know where this little piece of purple came from, but it's there. And this is a nice grungy one. Also nice and grungy, and I think it's a darker green. I don't know, it's pretty dark green, as you can see from my fingers. And the camera's just not doing it justice. Let me see if I can, first of all, put my X-Acto knife in. Put my cover on my glue would be good. I'm seeing if I can change. Nope. Trying to see if I can get a better. That's too blue. That's, nope. The yellowish light gives the best color, I guess. And this one came out nice and grungy as well. Some of these papers, I don't know if it's one of these. Basically, I had like a stack of paper sitting in the green dye. And some of them, they weren't wet all the way. So like this was still dry on it. And then I added the rest of the coffee. So some of them are mostly green. That's a nice dark green. I love that color. And then in that particular batch. And some of them are, so some of the ones, oh, this is on white cardstock. So you could see the difference between putting it on white cardstock, which is the darker side, or gray. You get a totally different color, basically. And this was on white paper as well, so you could see, let's see, where, well, that's white cardstock as well. So this is on white cardstock, this is on white paper, and like this one's on gray paper. So you see the difference when you use a paper that already has a color to it. And basically I used coffee, just instant coffee. I didn't measure it. I had 4 cups of coffee and I just kind of sprinkled it till I was happy, I guess. That's just more plain on the back. And then I had split it into 2 cups. So then I had 2 cups each of coffee in a container. And I put them in my glass. I have a glass pan. You could use a jelly roll pan cookie sheet, anything with sides. And I dyed my brown ones. And then whatever was left after I dyed, I don't know, a stack of the brown, like this would just be the plain brown. Then I added some cornflower blue food coloring and one of the greens, one of the dark greens. I couldn't tell you which one. I just grabbed them and stuck them in there. And that's where I got this green color, which is, you know, usually darker on one side, lighter on the other side. And then I had that little bit of green left in there, and I had those papers sitting there, and they soaked up all the green they could soak up, and then I poured the rest of the coffee in there. I love this right here. That's definitely going in her book because it's nice, and I was really hoping that was dried, and it is. So it's not wet, it's actually dried like that. Love it. And then we have that. I think we're well into the pile that hasn't been flattened at all. I meant to say when we got to that pile, but, and here's one of the papers that has the green and the brown. And another one. So some had more green on them, some had less green on them. This is just cardstock. It was white. And then another one of these. I love this. A little bit. You can still see some of that on the back. These are great. This one's still a little bit damp. I don't know why I flip them when I pick them up, but this is cardstock as well. It's still a little bit damp. And then, oh, this did get some flowers on it. I didn't see it at first. I have a placemat with these flowers. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. It just, I don't know. Maybe it depends. Like this one, you can see one tiny little flower right there. It was already partly dry when I threw it on there. Because sometimes I have them on like these decorative things that I have. Which, yeah, you can kind of see that one. And some, like these were like piled up, I think. Some of these were. So that's why you see like a more clear and then not as much, is because this would have been on top of this. If I don't have them stacked up though, I would be clear on both sides, where you just have a hint of it on this side and not really much of it on that side. But I kind of did a lot of paper today, so that's why it just ended up being... See, this looks more gray in the camera, but it's really green and brown. It's got green and tan. I wish I could... Oh, and there's the front. Oh, isn't that pretty? So this one's got the green and the brown on it. That one's awesome. And then this one, I was setting papers on it to take them outside so they wouldn't drip everywhere. But, you know, and then you can see the difference between the greens too. And there's a brown one. It's the quatrefoil. Some people call it cloverleaf, but it's quatrefoil. I think I stepped on it when I was like going through and looking for it. So you can kind of see an impression. So like this really light here and a little stronger there, and then this was the one. So like this was right on the thing, and this would have been the one above it, and then this would have been the one that was on the very top. And so you still get a little bit of the pattern, but not the whole pattern. So yeah, that's pretty much how I did these. And if I can find one, I'll show it to you. But sometimes when I do tea or coffee with a food coloring, I get a nice grungy, especially if oh, let me find one that has it good. Especially if water settles somewhere. I know I had one where the water settled. I don't know. I wish you guys could see. I don't know. The color's not quite right on the camera, because it looks more try again. Let's just try turning this off altogether. See, it's not as dark as it's showing there. I don't know, but let me see. Now you're in the dark. Do you feel like you're in the dark? I'm looking for one that shows how the coffee or tea settles and kind of looks like dirt, but they didn't do it on this one as much. I do it a lot more when I have the tea. I don't know. Didn't do it. See, that one was white, and the green that got on there just didn't get in there as much. Oh, maybe this one. I don't know. But you see, like, there's like some of these grungy bits. I think that one had it actually dripped on there. I don't know. I had some other ones that I think I already used in the journal that were... Oh, here we go. See, here we have this kind of... Sorry about my fingers. That kind of settled... It almost looks like dirt, but it's not. It's just because I have the two different... You know, the two different types of color there, I guess. It did it more when I used tea. And you got to remember, the reason I did blue and green is because coffee and tea have a lot of orange in them, which you can especially see here. That almost looks orange. And so I added blue first, which would give me a green, and then I added some green to get a darker. And then, you know, because the brown and the gray paper I did it on, I got a nice... Here's an example here too, I think. See where you have that kind of... It wasn't sitting in anything dirty. It just because it was the coffee with it. So yes, I woke up in the mood to dye papers today. Did you ever do that? Did you ever wake up just in the mood to dye papers? And I'm like, okay, I'm getting really close. I'm somewhat close anyway to being done with the baby memory book. And it'll be time to be starting this grunge journal, this grunge forest. Dark forest journal, and so I'm very excited. So obviously I must be excited about it because I'm like, I want to make those papers. So I did. I made those papers. I don't think I will have extra papers, which either will go in another journal, or if you're lucky, they might go up in my shop. I gotta see what I need for this journal first, and then we'll see. But if I get in a dyeing mood again, and I have like stack like this, I will have to put some in my shop. Some nice grungy, beautiful grungy papers. Oh my goodness, look how... And there's still 13 on the porch. Look at this. That's so many papers I dyed today. Oh, I love it. All right, I hope you guys have a delightful day. And see, these are smooth on here. Hold on. Because those are ironed. These were not ironed. The ironed ones will not go in her grungy journal, I don't think. But I may have to put them under the books just to get them a little bit flatter. All right, y'all. I said have a delightful day. Oh, and that was my question. I asked, do you guys ever like just get in the mood to like dye paper, or what is it that you sometimes like just you get in the mood and you just have to do it and you just have so much fun doing it? Like, I haven't done this since I don't think I even really did it in the summer. Like last spring might have been the last time I really did this. And I'm just like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I didn't even use any of my dots or squares. I got a lot of plain ones and used a lot of my metal and plastic things that I have out there. Like the thing I used for this I got at Hobby Lobby. I have 2 long ones and 1 short one. Of course, the quatrefoil is the short one. And these are like 2 feet long, but they don't fit in my oven. So when I'm doing them in the, and then this is plastic that I put this on, so. And then, yeah, that's obviously metal because it's, you're not going to iron. This one's just weirding me out. You see? It just looks blurry because I guess I moved it, or 3D. Whew, hurts my eyes a little bit. What would you do with this one? Would you put it as a page, or would you kind of, maybe a background? I don't know, but it's, whew, it's weirding my eyes out. It just looks kind of like 3D-ish. And I'm pretty sure I must have moved it. So, alright, yep. Bye for real this time. Love you guys.